Listen, I know you're still feeling the sting from that wild finish. Me too. Because on paper it should have been a win, but what we got instead was a 40-40 tie that left the whole fan base with whiplash. At the center of all of it, though, is Dak Prescott. And before we get too mad at missed chances, we have to give him his props. He just passed Troy Aikman to become the Cowboys' all-time leader in career completions, a stat that means something to the franchise and to you if you've followed this team for years. That milestone doesn't erase the blown moments, but it does underline a simple truth. The offense is still doing its job at a high level, and Dak remains the engine of this team's identity. Now, I want you to do me one quick thing right now. If you're watching and you care about thoughtful Cowboys coverage, tap that subscribe button and help us reach our goal of 16,000 subscribers so we can keep putting out more breakdowns like this each week. And while you do that, drop a like on the video so YouTube knows to show this to more Cowboys fans. Okay, back to the game. Dak's command of the offense was obvious. He moved the chains, he made throws under pressure, and he kept drives alive in ways both the box score and the film appreciate. Yet even with that, the Cowboys found themselves squandering opportunities late, and that tension between elite quarterback play and team-level breakdowns is the story we have to keep unpacking. When I watch his plays from last night, what stands out is consistency. The footwork, the timing, and his ability to extend plays without forcing turnovers. And that's why the completions record is not just a stat. It's proof that he's been the steady hand this franchise has leaned on for years. So I'll ask you, does Dak's record change how you feel about this tie? Yes or no? Type Y or N in the comments and tell me why in one sentence. Before we dive deeper in the next segment into the exact plays that showed both the highs and the misses, I want you to think about this. Are you more encouraged by Dak's milestone or more frustrated that it didn't lead to an outright win? That's the conversation we're going to have with film, with fan reaction, and with what the coaching staff needs to do next. But for now, celebrate the milestone if you want to. I'm celebrating the fact that we still have a quarterback who can win games. And let that be the starting point for a real conversation about how to turn individual greatness into team wins. If you're new here, remember to subscribe, ring the bell, and if you're already part of the fam, hit like and tell me in the comments what Dak's best moment with the Cowboys has been so far. I'll read the best ones in the next video. What stood out to me in this game, aside from the wild finish, is how Dak Prescott once again showed that the Dallas Cowboys offense is not just capable, but still elite. When you look at the way he operated behind center, it wasn't about flashy deep bombs on every drive. It was about precision, efficiency, and decision-making under pressure. He spread the ball around, connected on tough throws in tight windows, and showed the kind of command that only a veteran quarterback can. And the crazy part is, even in a game that ended in a tie, the offense looked like it could score on just about anyone. If you go back and think about some of those third-down conversions, you'll remember the way Dak stood tall in the pocket, waited for the play to develop, and delivered on time. Those are the kinds of plays that keep drives alive and set the tone for the whole unit. Now, of course, we also have to highlight the balance. The Cowboys didn't just lean on one receiver. Dak made sure the ball was moving, that everyone was involved, and that the defense couldn't key in on just one weapon. That's part of why defenses have such a hard time figuring out this offense. The unpredictability mixed with Dak's accuracy creates problems for every coverage scheme. And when you pair that with the offensive line giving him just enough time, it feels like this offense can go toe-to-toe with anyone in the league. That's why, despite the frustration of the tie, fans shouldn't overlook what this game showed us about the offensive side of the ball. It's not broken, it's not in need of a massive overhaul. If anything, it's firing on most of the right cylinders. But here's where I want your take. What play stood out to you the most? Was it the long touchdown strike? One of the clutch third down completions, or just the way Dak controlled the huddle and marched the offense down the field with confidence? Drop your choice in the comments, and if you want to be more specific, even better. Tell me the exact moment you'd go back and re-watch if you could. That's the kind of conversation that makes this channel so much fun, because your perspective matters just as much as mine. And as always, if you're enjoying this breakdown, hit that subscribe button and help us on the push to 16,000 subscribers. It's free, it helps the channel grow, and it makes sure you don't miss the next breakdown when we dive even deeper. Up next, we'll shift gears and talk about where things started to fall apart. The blown chances, the breakdowns that cost Dallas the win, and the way fans lit up social media about it. Stick with me because this is where it gets really interesting. Here's where we need to be brutally honest. As good as Dak and the offense looked for most of the night, this game should have been a win, not a tie. The Cowboys had multiple chances to put it away, and instead of slamming the door shut, they left it wide open for Green Bay to claw back and turn it into a 40-40 finish that feels almost like a loss. The frustrating part is that we've seen this movie before. The offense does its part, and then the defense or game management decisions undo the momentum. Late in the game, when Dallas needed just one stop or one sustained drive to kill the clock, it slipped through their hands. Missed tackles, blown coverages, and questionable coaching calls gave Green Bay exactly the window they needed. That's the kind of collapse that makes fans shake their heads, because the opportunity was right there, and it got wasted. And trust me, fans noticed. Social media lit up immediately after the final whistle. Some were furious at the defense for letting the game get away. Others pointed the finger at the coaching staff, questioning whether adjustments were made quickly enough when the momentum started shifting. A few even said the tie felt worse than a loss because it showed the Cowboys had everything in their grasp and still couldn't finish. You don't have to scroll far on Twitter or Facebook to see comments calling for accountability, or fans wondering aloud how long this team can waste elite-level quarterback play before changes are made. It's raw, it's emotional, but that's what happens when you care deeply about a team that keeps finding ways to let victory slip through its fingers. But here's the thing. As much as the noise can be harsh, it does shine a spotlight on the bigger truth. This Cowboys roster has the talent to dominate, yet it struggles to consistently close games. That's not a Dak problem, that's not a completions record problem, that's a coaching, execution, and defensive problem. Until those areas get cleaned up, the narrative will keep being that Dallas finds ways to almost win instead of actually winning. And I'll be real with you. Fans aren't wrong to demand more. So let me turn it to you. If you could make just one change going into the next week, would you focus it on the offense, the defense, or the coaching decisions? Drop your pick in the comments, and here's a simple yes or no vote to get quick feedback flowing. Should the Cowboys coaching staff make personnel changes immediately? Type yes or no and tell me why. Your voice here matters because it's the same conversation happening inside the building right now. And while we're having that conversation, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss the follow-up when we cover the team's response and what adjustments they actually make. We're pushing for 16,000 subscribers, and your support is what keeps these breakdowns rolling. Hit that like button if you're tired of seeing games slip away like this, because I know I am. So after a night like that, the big question becomes, what's next for the Dallas Cowboys? Because as frustrating as a tie is, the season doesn't stop, and neither do the expectations. The truth is, the Cowboys can't afford to let this game linger in the locker room. They need to take the lessons from those blown chances, turn them into corrections, and get back to playing complete football. The defense has to sharpen up. Tackling, communication, and late-game execution can't be optional if this team is going to meet its goals. Coaching decisions will be underway. The microscope too, because fans have every right to expect adjustments in real time when momentum starts shifting. The good news? These are issues that can be fixed. They're not about talent, they're about discipline and detail, and that's where a great week of practice and a renewed focus can make all the difference. But through all of this, Dak Prescott's record stands as a reminder of what Dallas does have. A steady, reliable quarterback who has proven he can carry the offense year after year. Becoming the franchise leader in completions isn't just a line in the record book. It's a symbol of durability, of leadership, and of the consistency that has kept this team competitive even when the other pieces haven't always fallen into place. If you're looking for hope, that's it. The Cowboys don't have a quarterback problem. They have a quarterback who continues to give them a chance to win every week, and that's something not every team in the league can say. So the path forward is simple. Fix the details on defense, tighten the coaching decisions, and keep letting Dak do what he does best. Lead this offense with confidence and poise. If those pieces come together, a tie like this won't define the season. Instead, it can become a turning point, a wake-up call that pushes the Cowboys to finally close games the way championship contenders do. And as fans, the best thing we can do is keep the conversation alive, keep the pressure where it needs to be, and support the players who are putting in the work every week. Now I want to hear from you. Do you believe this tie will serve as a turning point? Or do you think it's a warning sign of bigger issues ahead? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let's see where Cowboys Nation really stands. And don't forget, hit that subscribe button and help us reach our goal of 16,000 subscribers. Every click makes a difference and keeps this community growing. Smash that like button if you believe Dak deserves more credit for what he's doing, and share this video with one friend who needs to join the conversation. We're just getting started, and I'll be here every step of the way breaking down the highs, the lows, and everything in between.